And good evening, everyone. This is John with Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports. Thanks for checking us out. Shawn's not with me tonight. He's still at work, so he said he might be able to hop on when he got home. But we'll hopefully he gets home safe. That's first. That's first most important. But yeah, we're just going to start doing a little draft recap again. The NFL schedule release is next week. We'll be live streaming during that as well. Probably go on about 7:30 ish. I believe the schedule actually gets released around 8 o'clock. So we'll start going through, looking at some of the key matchups on a week to week basis. Especially we're definitely all football talk, but our main focus is fantasy football. So I started doing our projections for the year. The quarterbacks, it's tough because the bye weeks haven't been announced yet, and the actual schedule is not released yet. But we do know who the opponents are, so I was able to start with the projections. So we'll definitely be taking a look at them here in a little bit. But like I said, the draft finished up. What a night! Shawn and I streamed for just about 4.5 hours. So at one point we were up to 17 people watching at the same time. So thank you for everybody that showed up that night. We definitely gained a bunch of new followers, gained a bunch of subs. So thank you for everybody that tuned into that. So we're excited to do the live stream the schedule release as well. Hopefully we get some more interaction with that, and definitely doing some more live streams during the season. We'll definitely be doing that on especially Thursday nights. We stream at 7 p.m. on Thursday nights before the Thursday night game. So we give any updates, any final projections that might be going on there. And then definitely Sundays at noon. Shawn updates us on all the latest injuries that have been announced in the NFL. So yeah, make sure you hit that follow button, and if you like our content and are willing, please subscribe as well. There's a couple different levels there as well. We do have some merch coming. I ordered some Pure Adrenaline hats that are being made. Hopefully, I get them within the next week or two. They have not been shipped yet. It says they're in production, so very excited to see how those turn out as well. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look at how the draft, some of the grades that these guys gave. This is from NFL.com. So if you're watching, let me know who your team is. This way we can take a look. But if not, I'll just go down the list here. I believe they have it in alphabetical order. So we'll start with the Arizona Cardinals. They gave the Cardinals an A minus. Let me see who actually wrote this article. Chad Reuter at NFL.com. So let's see here. I don't know. Oh, they do have it in order by pick. So I actually love Trey McBride. He was one of the guys I was hoping. Shawn says, "Hey bud, on my way home from work. Join once I get home." Yeah, Shawn, no rush. Take your time, bud. If you get here, thank you. If not, hopefully we'll see you Sunday. I know things happen and we get stuck at work sometimes, so that's cool. Hold down the fort until I get there. Yeah, definitely. We're going over some draft grades here from NFL.com. So, Shawn, I know you're not here yet, but thanks for hopping in the chat. Let's see here. Cameron Thomas, Sanders at pick 100, Ingram, Bukeda, edge rusher, actually 256. That's great value at 256 for the edge from Penn State. I like that. So I don't know much about some of the guys they got here, but I do know McBride. McBride was my favorite tight end in the draft. My Jets took Jeremy Ruckert. He was my second tight end in this draft. So was very happy with that pick. They took him, McBride at 55. The Jets got Rucker at, I believe, 101, I believe. We'll take a look here in a minute. Just checking. They gave the Atlanta Falcons They gave the Atlanta Falcons a B plus. Drake London at 8. I did not like that pick. I did out of the wide receiver group. I don't have it here in front of me. I don't remember where I had London. He was definitely not in my top 4 wide receivers. So they take him at 8. Ebiketie, the edge from Penn State as well. Troy Anderson, the linebacker from Montana State, smaller school. Love the pick. Love that pick here. Desmond Ridder at 74. Love that quarterback as well. And with them signing Mariota to a 2-year deal, Ridder could definitely sit at least the first year if Mariota plays well. Algier from BYU, another player I thought the Jets would have an eye on later in the draft, which the Jets traded up in round 2 to take Hall. So love the fact that they got Hall. I didn't think they would do that, but hey, when that kind of talent's on the board, you make a trade for that. Keep checking my phone here, man. Baltimore had one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite drafts. Look at they get Kyle Hamilton at 14. I had him as a top 10 pick. Linderbaum at 25, loved it. Jabo at 45, who would have been a first round pick and probably a top 10 pick had he not gotten injured. Falele, big. I don't know if the weight's going to be an issue. I believe he's almost 400 pounds. Kolar. They got Kolar and Likely. These guys were 4 and 5 in my tight end list. So definitely some great value there. And they took Jordan Stout. I forget who the punter was that was called a generational talent. And Stout, I believe Stout was the first punter off the board and not the guy everybody was hyping up. So Buffalo got one of my favorite players in this draft as well. Matt Araiza was the punter that was called generational. He goes 180 overall. I believe there were 2 punters taken in front of him. But let's see here. They took Elam, Cook. I absolutely loved Cook. I thought second round was a little early. They got him at pick 63. So let's look here. They got him good there. I don't know if he can be an every down back. I know if the Jets would have gotten him, he would have been able to split carries more with our running back there. But we ended up taking Hall, like I said, trading up in the second to get him. So they gave them an A for the whole draft, and an A on day 1, A- on day 2, and a day 3 grade of A. Says the Bills got the cornerback they needed in round 1 by trading up to select Elam. Lots of trades in the first round. The draft started off quick, and then Shawn and I were talking. We're like, man, this is going to go by quick. And then I forget. I believe pick 11 was the first time the trade started happening. Washington traded out of 11, and then 12 got traded, and then the Eagles made a bunch of moves. Tennessee made a bunch of moves. But yeah, let's see here. Feisty attitude and quickness on the outside translated next level. Cook was exactly the shorter, speedy receiving threat the team needed at running back, and Bernard helpful to hold on the defense second level. He was tough. Always a linebacker at Baylor. So let's keep going here. They gave Carolina an A-. They took Aquanu at 6. Love that pick. I thought he was in play with the Jets at 4. The Jets ended up going with Sauce Gardner, who was my favorite player in this draft. But I thought the Jets would have went with offensive line help. So Aquanu ends up going to Carolina at 6. Matt Corral, who I thought was a first round pick, ends up going 94th overall. Brandon Smith, linebacker from Penn State. Loved him. Loved a lot of the Penn State guys this year in the draft. Big Penn State fan here, living in Northeast PA. So I get to see them play every week. But let's keep looking here. Let's keep looking. The Bears, they got Kyler Gordon, cornerback at 39. Brisker at 48, another Penn State player. Loved Brisker. Yeah. So let's keep going here. Let's see what some of these playoff teams did. Bengals definitely needed defensive backfield help. So they take Daxton Hill and Taylor Britt. And then they Anderson later on, and they added some. They went mostly defense except for Volson, pick 136. Cleveland, that's right. Perion Winfrey. I thought Winfrey was a first round pick. He ends up going at pick 108. Cade York, kicker, who I thought the Jets might have been interested in, goes at 124. I thought it was real early for him there. And then Jerome Ford out of Cincinnati, loved him as well. But like I said, my Jets took the running back in the second round, so they didn't need to add some more of these guys here. But yeah, guys, let me know who your favorite teams are. Let me know who your favorite picks were in the draft. Thank you for watching. Make sure you're following. If you're not already, let's look here. Dallas. I really don't. I like Jake Ferguson, tight end there, but I don't know much about. I believe Tyler Smith. I believe he had a second round grade on him. They took him at 24. So Nick Benito for the Broncos. They gave him an A, and it's hard to give these teams grades. We don't know what these players are going to do until they actually put NFL pads on and get into games and stuff like that in the NFL. I wonder if Harold's here. Harold, if you're here, he's one of our mods. He's a big Detroit Lions fan. He loved the Hutchinson pick. I'd like to know what he thought. Can't wait. Oh, Shawn says can't wait to see the Vikings grades for all their trades. Yeah, I know. Shawn was not happy on draft night with some of their trades. But let's look here. Hutchinson, Williams. They still got him at 12. We know he's probably going to miss about half the year. But man, what team putting him with St. Brown? Man, what a duo that's going to be. They get Kirby Joseph, one of my favorite safeties. So good draft early on for Detroit. Some of these guys near the tail end, I'm not too sure about. Green Bay. I know Green Bay has signed both of their first round picks already, Walker and Wyatt. They have signed their rookie deals. And then they trade up early in the second round to get Christian Watson, also one of my favorite receivers in this draft, even though he went to a small school. Yeah, I didn't do enough research on the tail end of some of these guys. Houston with a B. Houston taking Derek Stingley early at 3. That was the first surprise of the night. But with some of they end up getting Kenyon Green at 15, Petrie at 37, Mechie, who didn't get hurt, would have been a first round pick. Christian Harris Houston had a really good draft. Man, I'm excited for those guys. Davis Mills, they're gonna put some talent around Davis Mills and see what he can do, and if not, they can go quarterback in next year's draft. Indianapolis for the C grade. Wonder why. Oh, they gave him a D on day 1. So pick 53. Well, they didn't have a pick. That's kind of dumb. You can't give a grade if they didn't have a pick. So maybe they didn't like whatever the trade was, the ill-fated trade for Carson Wentz. Cost them a first-round pick. They were able to make up for it somewhat on day 2 with a solid picks at positions of need. They secured the Athletic Woods, an up-and-coming left tackle, and Romaine, and playmaking and Cross. Cross out of Maryland. Johnson's quickness off the snap made him one of the best non-combine invitees in this draft. And Brooks is undersized thorn in the side of offensive linemen. So let's see what Jacksonville did. Trayvon Walker at 1. This reminds me over in the chat. It says, "Stop the slips with some new grips. Order new grips for your Xbox or PlayStation controllers at swiftgrips.com and use promo code PAFS10. Save 10% off." I have not gotten mine yet. I'll have to check the tracking. I ordered some green ones for my PlayStation controller. I know Shawn got some blue ones. Some of the guys on draft night ordered some as well. So, guys, if you're here, let me know. Let me know if you got them yet. Let me know if they do work. And yeah, but thanks to Swift Grips for partnering up with us. So yeah, make sure you use that promo code to save a little bit on your order. But let's look at Jacksonville here. Jacksonville with a B plus. Trayvon Walker, Devin Lloyd at 27. Fortner, Chad Muma, one of my favorite linebackers in this draft. So pretty decent there. Jacksonville had a really good offseason, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. They hired Doug Peterson. I think that was a good move. So we'll see what they do. We'll see how they do this year. But let's keep going. Kansas City ends up taking Trent McDuffie at 21. Karlaftis, one of my top 5 edge rushers at 30. Sky Moore, Leo Chanel, one of my favorite linebackers as well. So a very good draft for Kansas City. Let's just point out some of the bigger names here. A minus. Really not too sure what the Raiders did there. Shawn in our mock drafts was always picking Zion Johnson to go to the Chargers. And they took him there at 17. Isaiah Spiller was my second favorite running back in this draft. They take him at 123. Horvath, I don't know enough about the Chargers offensive scheme to know if they use a fullback. But he was to me, he was the only fullback worth taking in this draft. The Rams, who didn't pick until pick 104. Logan Bruss, Quentin Lake. So hopefully to get Peo time on. He's an actual LA Rams YouTuber. He joined us draft night as well to talk a little draft before it started. So he's still on cloud 9 after the Rams winning the Super Bowl. I'll actually put his information in the chat here. Miami, they gave a B. I really don't like much of what they did here either. Oops. So let's look here. Let's keep going. Minnesota. Shawn, are you still here? If not, we'll come back to Minnesota if Shawn's able to jump in. They traded down to 32. Then they traded out of, I think they had 34 or 35. They traded out of there. Then they trade back up to get Booth. I know Shawn was excited for Booth. Add some offensive lineman depth there. Asamoah there. Ty Chandler. They gave him an A minus. So Shawn, let me know what you thought. I know I didn't like the trades. I didn't think they got good value in their trades. Let's look here. Patriots took Strange at 29, way too early. Thornton at 50 was way too early. I did not like their draft here for New England. So yeah, C plus probably seems about right. The Saints took Olave. Trevor Penning at 19. Love that pick. Kid's real nasty, so that's going to help their offensive line. The Giants take Thibodeau and Neal in the first round at 5 and 7. Then they take Robinson. I believe Robinson had like a 4th or 5th round grade on him. They take him at 43. So actually, they gave the Giants an A minus, and A minus. I give the Giants an A plus for day one. I would give them probably a C for day 2, and don't know enough. Beavers out of Cincinnati is a good pick at 182. So yeah, guys, thanks. Bunch of you just started watching. Thank you. Yeah, let us know. Let me know who your favorite teams are. Let me know who your favorite picks were in the draft. This brings me to my Jets. My Jets took Sauce Gardner at 4. Like I said, that was my favorite player in this draft. Then they take Garrett Wilson. Wilson I had as the third ranked wide receiver. And then Jermaine Johnson, who I had as my third ranked edge rusher. They take him. They get Bryce Hall, number one ranked running back. Jeremy Ruckert, who was my number 2 ranked tight end. So the Jets had a great draft. Very happy. I don't know much about Max Mitchell or Michael Clemens. I know Clemens has had some off the field issues, getting in some legal trouble. So we'll see if anything comes of that as well. But the Eagles made a bunch of moves. Jordan Davis, Cam Jurgens, Nakobe Dean at 83. This could turn out to be a steal. I know there's some injury concerns, but he's saying he's ready to go for he'll be ready to go for training camp. So I mean, if he's fine and ready to go, great value there for the Eagles at 83. And I believe with all their trades are made, they still have 2 picks in the first round next year. So Steelers, I do not like the Kenny Pickett pick here for the Steelers. Cold weather. I know he went to school there in Pittsburgh, but usually college is done in November before the real bad weather starts. So I'm wondering about those small. His hands are on the smaller side, and the football in the NFL is bigger than in college. So I don't know. He was not my number 1 ranked quarterback coming into the draft. Malik Willis was at a Liberty, and I thought at least 3 quarterbacks were going in the first, but that didn't happen. San Francisco, Mr. Irrelevant. They got Mr. Irrelevant. They take Brock Purdy at 262 overall. Seattle. I don't know what Seattle was doing. Let me see my list here. Seahawks. Is Rycan in here? Rycan, are you here? If you're here, let me know. Let me know what you thought of their picks here. Cross, Mafe, Kobe Bryant. That's good value there. At 109. So let's keep going here. We'll finish up. Shawn said he's on his way home. We'll see if he joins us. Logan Hall, Cade Otton, Camarda. That was the other punter that was taken off the board. I believe there were 3 punters taken off the board. Tennessee Titans, a couple of my favorite players they got here in this draft. Traylon Burks, I absolutely love Traylon Burks and Roger McCreary. And at 86, they get Willis. I had Willis as a first-round pick. If somebody would have told me that 1 quarterback was going in the first round, I would have thought it would have been Willis. But that they really liked him here. They got one of my favorite players in the draft, Kyle Phillips at 163. Great special teams player there. So hopefully they use him just as a special teams player. And they traded away A.J. Brown. I know putting your hopes on a rookie and I'm not sure who their other receiver is. Shawn did have it listed the other day on Sunday when we were streaming, and I didn't know who anybody else was. But Burks, I love Burks, so hopefully he fits in well there. Washington takes Stotson at 16. I thought that was a little early. I thought he would have been in the 28 to 32 range. But yeah, still had him as a first rounder. But then they come back. Sam Howell. I know living here in Pennsylvania, I know a lot of Steelers fans wanted Howell. And then they ended up getting them at 144. So I like that value there. And that was it. So hopefully we'll do a little bit more here as well. So like I said, we do our main goal here on the channel is to help you guys with your fantasy football teams. We do our own projections. I created software that does projections, and I started doing those. So let me get those up on the screen here. The bye weeks here are still based off of last year. I'm still waiting next week. Like I said, we'll be live streaming the NFL schedule release. That'll be Thursday. We'll probably be on about 7:30 talking about that. But yeah, here's what we do. We supply average draft position, the projected points we think they'll have, completions, attempts, completion percentage, the yards they'll throw for, touchdowns, interceptions, rushing attempts, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, and fumbles lost, not total fumbles. But this year I added, looking back how they did last year and what they averaged last year. Average completions, attempts, yards, average time they have in the pocket, and then their big plays, 30 to 49 yard passes and 50 plus yard, not just touchdowns, but completions. And this is based off of last year. It's this year's schedule factored in, but last year's numbers. So here, Buffalo, Josh Allen, based off of last year's numbers, is facing the 21st easiest, 21st toughest. So good matchup there for his fantasy points allowed and his yards. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look. We have Allen, Mahomes, Herbert from the Chargers, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, man, it's tough. I don't know why everybody in Philadelphia has a problem with Jalen Hurts. Now, like I said, I keep saying we are based off of fantasy football, so I'm just going off of those numbers. So look, we have him projected at 3,600 yards, 25 touchdowns, but adding almost 800 yards on the ground and eight rushing touchdowns. I mean, those are decent. Just the rushing yards and touchdowns are quality running back numbers. So not only could you get hit, your quarterback getting 3,600 yards passing and 25 plus touchdowns, but yeah, adding 800 yards rushing. You can see here Lamar Jackson, who's coming back from injury from last year. So let's see here. Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady right now, I know it's way too early and mock drafts have only started, but right now Tom Brady is the 141st pick overall in fantasy mock drafts, which we'll do one here in a second. But man, I know Tom Brady's the oldest player in the league. But look, we still have him projected at 4,900 yards, 34 touchdowns. But look, you know, and he doesn't have that hard of a schedule. Now yards, passing yards allowed, so he's 10th there, so that's a little tough. But nowhere near Lamar. Look at Lamar's got some tough defenses. That's a tough division that they're in, having to play Pittsburgh twice, Cleveland twice, and Cincinnati twice. Those are all very top-notch defenses. Where if you look at Dak Prescott, so I mean you can get Dak Prescott around pick 80 as of right now. So do you do that? Do you wait, or do you still take one of these guys earlier? So let me know if you're ready. Give me a thumbs up. Man, guys, Shawn has made it. Shawn, I know you were working late. Thanks for still joining the stream.
No problem.
First off, how was work? And,
it's another day in paradise.
Yeah. So I went over the grades. I don't know if you saw. I went through the teams. Were you still watching when I did the Vikings?
Yeah, I saw some of it here and there. I was watching bits and pieces. I saw the Vikings got I think it was an A overall.
Yeah, so let's look at. I'll put that back up on the screen here. Oh, where'd it go? Minnesota, New England, Minnesota. I'll put that back up on the screen. Minnesota, they gave an A minus. Now I know on draft night you weren't happy with the trade back. I believe they were at 12 and traded back to 32.
Mm-hmm.
But they end up getting Lewis Seen or Sign. I still don't know how he pronounces his name.
I think it's Sign.
And you were hoping for Booth, and they ended up trading back up to 42 after another trade. But yeah, so I know you wanted Booth. So your thoughts on the first two guys?
Yeah, I'm happy with. I was okay with Sign after I watched more tape of him. Booth, obviously, I was really happy about. I mean, I wanted him from the first option at pick 12 already. So I mean, in order to get him at 42, it's even better of a steal. I mean, I would have rather had a 5th-year option on him or a Sign. But overall, I mean, then we picked up another cornerback in Evans. We got a tight end at which we needed that position anyways. The only thing I kind of feel like we wasted picks on was a running back, which we already have 2 good running backs, and a wide receiver. I really wish we would have picked up better positions at the offensive line. We only picked up a tackle and 1 guard. I mean, I think there was more room to pick up, but overall, I mean, I think we got what we needed overall. I mean, they got Harrison Smith's replacement in the future, and he hits just as hard. And we got 2 cornerbacks, and Patrick Peterson's getting older. He's not got many years left, and got to start developing him somehow. So might as well get him with veterans like him, and then to get another linebacker and a stacked linebacker room already with 3 Pro Bowl linebackers to have a 4th. He's going to learn a lot real quick.
Yeah. So so overall, I do go player by player. I do like their draft. Is there a team that you did not like their draft?
Yeah, I mean, I think we said that day one right away when the draft was happening was New England.
Yeah, I mean, they took Cole Strange at pick 29. And I don't know if you saw the video. The Rams were doing a press conference at the time.
Yeah.
And actually, I think they were laughing when they.
Yeah, they were just making humor. I mean, I'm shocked they gave him a C.
Yeah.
I mean, they drafted, 2 running backs there, 2 cornerbacks, a quarterback. Like, they drafted positions that they already got stacked positions already. I mean, why draft a quarterback when you got Mac Jones? Like, are you trying to say he's not going to be your future?
Yeah, not that late. I mean, I don't know what their backup situation is, but
you draft him at 137. That's a little early to be drafting a backup for a rookie.
Okay. So
I would have
go ahead.
I would have taken him at 245.
Yeah. So Overlord's in the chat. Says, "Yo, what's good, Overlord? I know I contacted you on Twitter. I believe I sent you to the invite to the Fantasy Football League. If not, remind me. Or if you need the link again, I actually think I could put it right here in the chat. Oh yeah, so there it is. You guys can sign up for that if you're in the chat there on Twitch. So yeah, I agree with you, Shawn, on the Patriots. Yeah, bad. I don't know what they were doing there. So then I started looking. I put it up on screen. I started doing our projections for quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, even though on screen the bye weeks are from last year, right now it goes Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, then Jalen Hurts, and Tom Brady. What do you think of the top 5?
Kind of mind boggled by the fact that you got Joe Burrow down there outside the top 10. Deshaun Watson's inside the top 15, which is going to be kind of concerning for the fact of how much is he going to play. Mm-hmm. Then you got players like Tom Brady still up there with a half depleted wide receiver crew that he hasn't really played with / injured. The only guy he's played with that he's going to have week 1 is going to be Mike Evans. Patrick Mahomes is going to be confusing for the fact of I think he's more of a 5 to 10 rate this year instead of 1 to 2. Just for the fact of I think Herbert and Allen are going to be the clear cut 1-2. Mm-hmm. Herbert, if he knocks down the interception ratio, I think he's clear cut possibility number 1. Josh Allen, he can run, he can throw, mm-hmm. he can do whatever he wants. He could throw the ball in the air high enough that he probably can go catch it down the field and get a receiving touchdown along with passing. That's how good of a quarterback he is. I just think that there's a couple players that look pretty accurate. You got Murray, Stafford, Rodgers. They're about where they're going to be. Wilson, he's a wild card. Mm-hmm. We don't know how he's going to play. And then at the bottom, you have Trey Lance. I mean, I don't think he's going to be a top 25 quarterback.
So we'll see. Yeah, like I said, last year, if you're looking at the screen, last year I didn't have any of the stuff after the fumbles lost here. After fumbles lost, I didn't have any of this stuff. With this this year, this is from last year. Completions per game, attempts per game, yards per game, and average time they have to throw the ball. But then big plays, not necessarily touchdowns, but big plays, 30 to 49-yard completions and 50-plus yard completions. Stafford last year and Burrow both in double digits in 50-plus yard completions.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to look at the fact that the 50-plus yards, you got Stafford 10, Burrow 12. That's a high number, but then look at numbers like Lamar Jackson, 0.
0, right.
And you just traded his best wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
That shows room for concern. I mean, Dak Prescott 1, and he has wide receivers that you couldn't only imagine. I mean, you can't tell me that if you put Justin Herbert on Dak Prescott's Cowboys team, he's not going to throw up 10, probably 15. I mean, why is Dak Prescott struggle that much? And you can't say he doesn't have enough time. 2.4 seconds is an average. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has less and has more than what Dak has. So,
right. And then this number is their matchup. Their matchups this year, like strength of schedule matchups. Mm-hmm. So, like if it's green, definitely a favorable matchup. So, Josh Allen, fantasy points allowed. Definitely an easy schedule. Yards allowed. But look, Lamar Jackson, all red. Unfavorable matchups all year long.
Well, he played in a division that was really hard on defense. You got the Browns.
Right.
You had the Steelers, and you had the Ravens defense. So that's a really hard division, obviously. I mean, then again, you can't really say too much because even if you look down a little further on, Matt Stafford, 9-8, 2-8. Mm-hmm. Even right. Kirk Cousins had 2 and 3. And then Patrick Mahomes, 4 and 8 and a 5. That's still a lot. I mean, then you got people like Dak Prescott, 29, 32, 30, and 32. Why is Dak Prescott not the number 1 overall quarterback with those numbers?
Right.
I mean, he played every game last year. There's no reason why he shouldn't be putting better numbers. Even Russell Wilson. I mean, I get it. He was injured. In the time he played, he was great. But 27, 26, 28, 17, you should be having great seasons in and out with those numbers.
Right. Well, see, I'm worried because this is based off of last year's numbers. Look at the division he's in now, and look how all those defenses improved.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
this is a little misleading, and this will change on a weekly basis as well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of interested to see what their schedule looks like, and then once we start coming out with the year-long projections and when you can overlook the whole season, I'm interested to see what that looks like just for the simple fact of what his numbers look like. I'd like to compare them what it is now, what the projections are before the season is, and what does it look like after the season gets released and see how much it changes just based on his team's strength that he's got to play against.
Yeah, so let's see. Frank is a dark boy is here, but he says he's lurking. Thank you, Frank. It should say in the chat that Frank is the Dark Boy is now lurking. Hey, thanks for being here. Rye Cannon is here. What up, Rye Cannon?
Hey.
Thank you. I know he joined the Fantasy Football League. So like I said, I'll put it back in the chat just in case guys weren't here. Guys, if you want to join our Yahoo Fantasy Football League, Shawn set up. We'll do that. I put the link over there again. Oops, I didn't want that. So yeah, guys, let me know who I know who some of your teams are. I know Rycan is a Seahawks fan. Let us know who your favorite pick was in the draft. We're starting to look. If you're just joining us, we're starting to look at the projections for the year. This is the quarterbacks. Let's see who do they have Drew Lock now, right?
Yeah.
So I have Drew Lock all the way down here. Right now, doesn't have any average draft information, so not being picked. And right now, I have him projected at 3,200 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 12 picks. I don't know. Wonder if they trade for Baker. But Shawn, what would you think if Drew Lock went into the season as the Seahawks' #1 quarterback?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt his career. It could only help his career out better. He struggled in Denver with great wide receivers, and he's going to a team with probably better wide receivers. So why is it that if he struggles, what is the reasonings? And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if he's not the starter by like week 3, week 4. Brian Cannon says, let's not talk about his boy Drew. We got to talk about your boy Drew. It's not Drew Brees, it's Drew Lock. But no, I honestly think Drew Lock's going to be just kind of the stepping stone. He was part of the piece they had to get in order for the cap space to be moved around. So the Seahawks only did that for that purpose. Does he make it out of preseason as guaranteed starter? No, I really don't think so. I'm shocked Baker hasn't been moved yet. He's running out of spots to go. I wouldn't be shocked if maybe like a team like the Giants don't get involved and maybe make Baker possibly as like a competition for Daniel Jones. So like when Daniel Jones is struggling, if he's struggling in the first half, switch him out. Let's see what we got to play with. I mean, you're only playing with fire with that team, so you might as well give it all you got.
Ryan Cannon says better wide receivers, better head coach, better running backs. I wish Rush and Pete would have just worked it out. Payne, yeah. Yep. I think the only way Wilson would have stayed in Seattle is if Pete Carroll was either fired or resigned.
Yeah, I think he has a better team in Denver than he had in Seattle. Just for the simple fact of the running back crew for Seattle didn't start really until weeks 15, 14. The wide receivers, DK is kind of that guy that, like, if he doesn't get his way, he is going to throw his fit and you're going to see it. Where Tyler Lockett is humble, I think, and he's not going to be complaining. If he gets the ball thrown his way one time, he's going to make the most of it. And then, obviously, the offensive line, they didn't try to improve his offensive line the whole time he was there in his career.
Right.
You got to do something about it, and him doing something about it was, I got to go.
Yeah, doing something about it is they traded a bunch of first-round picks for Jamal Adams.
Yeah, and I saw the outlook of that the other day, Jamal Adams and what the Jets got, and they just finished the draft this year with what they got, and it wasn't even close. You got Blitz boy, and then you got 4 quality players out of that Blitz boy, and
let's see here.
See, I don't think they improved their offensive line for the simple fact of every year his numbers and amount of times he got sacked would increase and increase and increase.
Well, they let's see. They got Cross in the draft. They got Lucas in the draft. I don't know. I don't have the free agents in front of me.
But the only reason why they improved it, I think the only reason why they could improve it was the amount of money they lost on taking the cap hit off of Russell Wilson. I mean, his contract wasn't no minor contract this late in his career. So I think that's what you really have to look at. And if he was still there, the cap money they had, they wouldn't have been able to sign the players they were to sign. So I look at it, that's kind of the reason why I think the teams went the way they did, just because the players they got, one, they were cheap, or they were older and they were cheaper because of that reason. And they also were able to get rid of the cap hit that they were going to have if they were to just release Russell Wilson, knowing that he kind of didn't want to be there anymore. That's kind of why I think they don't want to go after Baker, just for the simple fact of Baker is owed a lot of money yet.
Yeah, let's look here. He says, Gabe Jackson, Dwayne Brown, and Dame Lewis, way better. But Russ held the ball way more the last few years. Yeah, he did. I did notice that he did hold the ball a little bit more. Gabe, Dwayne, and Lewis all played with Russ. So
but I think he also held the ball for the simple fact that his wide receivers couldn't ever get open.
Yeah, so
I think that's
that's the problem. I mean, Lockett would have a great game, and then he'd disappear for a couple weeks.
Like
now, I know
4 weeks.
I know some of that was due to Russ not being there, but even when he was there, he would disappear, and you can't if you're and Metcalf, you can't have a great week and then disappear.
See, I don't even think Metcalf would have a great week. Like 80 yards isn't a great week. He was inconsistent for the whole time. I mean, that's the only thing was the problem.
Yeah, Ryan saying DK was open tons. Russ just didn't look his way. Yeah, well, hey, if that's the case, then a change needs to be made.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to hope for the best in the end.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with Lock there, or if they make a trade. Shawn, let's look. Besides, if you're in a fantasy draft, which quarterback are you taking first, and how early?
If I had to pick, and depending on my team outlook of where my wide receivers are, I'd probably honestly go with a Justin Herbert, and I'm probably taking him 4th round.
Yeah.
If I can wait around and get him later, Joe Burrow, I'm probably going to try to get him 7th to 8th round. And honestly, I'm going to try to get a backup in like Matt Stafford, maybe even try to get a Russell Wilson as a steal, or Jalen Hurts, late 10th, like 9th, 10th round. But it all depends on what kind of league I'm in. Am I in a snake draft? Am I in a dynasty league? Because we've proven when it comes to dynasty leagues, I kind of dominate those. I play it smart every year, and we see how that ends up. I'm always in a chip. But when it comes to snake drafts, I'm usually the team that goes 4 and like 10. Because I hate those drafts. I have never won a snake draft in my life in any division I've played in any sport. But if you put me in a dynasty league, I'm usually the guy that goes almost undefeated.
Yeah. So at least in football, not in baseball.
Hey, I did one baseball one this year, and I'm already 3-0, looking for 4, and I'm like, just gonna keep going with it.
So I agree with you. Herbert's probably. I mean, in our dynasty league, Herbert's my quarterback anyway. I made that trade last year, so
I got 3 of the top 15 right there. I got Murray, I got Prescott, and I got Watson.
And I believe you got Prescott the year he was hurt, right?
Yep, and I got Watson last year off of you for a bag of chips.
Yeah, so that's all right. Part of my deal was trying to get Herbert, so he was the guy I wanted all along. It took a little even after Tyler drafted him. I kept trying to get. Anytime I would talk to him, I'm like, "What are we trading?"
I traded Mahomes away. I traded Tyreek away. I traded George Kittle away. I traded Barkley away. I was trading everybody away. Still takes me to my team of has-beens. It still takes me to the chip.
So, like I said, the guys that are watching, if you weren't watching at the beginning, we do have the NFL schedule release coming up on Thursday. Shawn, what do you think? Probably go live about 7:30?
Yeah, 7:30, 7:45. Wait it off so we're not live again for umpteen hours and waiting on the schedule release, just for the fact of the release doesn't happen until usually on TV and we can see it in person.
Yeah, so we'll be talking that. We'll definitely be talking fantasy matchups. I know week 2, the Thursday night game, I believe they said is Chiefs Chargers.
Yep. I think it's in LA.
Yeah, so that'll be a good matchup. Hopefully, we get a lot of people. Maybe we'll even live stream that game. Like we can't actually show the game, but keep the fantasy football talk going for the whole game.
Yeah, of course. Sounds good to me.
So let's take a look here. We definitely did fantasy here. Like I said, this is way early. This is my first set. We don't even have the bye weeks yet. And now that once the schedule comes out, I think more people do start doing mock drafts. So these numbers will probably change. Especially Brady. I don't think Brady. There's no way Brady stays at pick 140.
Yeah, but last year he did, and he proved that he was on MVP caliber numbers throughout the years. So you never know, honestly.
Yep. So we'll keep an eye on that. I started working on running backs as well. I'm adding all the rookies before I hit the button to do the projections. I got all my percentages in there. Think I'm pretty accurate. I'm actually surprised. Remember last year during the off season, we were still over on YouTube and we were doing. We were our numbers were fairly accurate unless there was an injury concern.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it all depended. We always had that one player. I always take Sammy Watkins week 1 just for the fact that's usually his breakout game. Then he breaks his ankle.
Yep.
So any Green Bay fans, get ready. Week 2, he's going to be on the injured list. But other than that, I mean, we were pretty close on a lot of players. I mean, Cooper Kupp, everyone kind of slept on him throughout the year. Obviously, no one expected that. But the quarterbacks, we kind of were pretty close with them. The tight ends, we were pretty close with them, obviously mirroring the injuries to Waller and Kittle throughout the year. And then the running backs and receivers are kind of the hit and miss position just for the fact that they can go either way. But when it came to kickers and defense, don't ever listen to us. We have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about him this year. If you mention it, I'm leaving the stream every time. I don't want to be a part of it because we look bad every time we've mentioned it for the fact that we're like, oh, this guy's gonna be a breakout game and he had 1 point or -3. Right. This guy's gonna be horrible. Has 36 points one night. Like, oh, he kicked all night.
So look at like I said, way too early here. I got Kenny Pickett. I wouldn't be surprised if Pickett doesn't get any stats this year. Depending on how Trubisky does in Pittsburgh. Same thing with Ritter in Atlanta. And I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Corral ends up starting some games. Darnold's trash.
Yeah, and he's usually injured by week 3.
Yeah, so yeah, a lot of these guys won't even be on fantasy rosters. But yeah, let's what else we got going on here? I have it? Let me put it over here. DraftKings. Sign up. Oh, I think that was the wrong one. Who do you think? I know we got the schedule release coming up on next Thursday. Who do you think the Rams end up playing?
I think it's the Bills.
You think it's the Bills?
I believe so. I just think that it's the easiest way.
I think Geno ends up starting, and Mariota probably ends up hurt. The biggest questions are still Baker and Jimmy G. Ooh, yeah, I kind of forgot about Jimmy G. What are your thoughts on Jimmy G? You think
wherever
keep
Debo
him there
goes,
or wherever? Well, what if that doesn't happen?
I'm telling you, it's what's going to happen. You just got to believe it. Trust the process.
Wow, one of Baker Mayfield's teammates. Shortly after Browns coach Kevin Stefanski announced Beckham wouldn't be coming back, another starter was asked if he'd seen the video Beckham Sr. had posted of Mayfield misfiring on throws to his son. Why would I watch the video? The player asked rhetorically. According to a source familiar with the mark, I see it every day in practice.
Jeez.
Cowboys draft board revealed today. Speaking of, we did get like I said, we do have the NFL schedule release next week, but we do get. Let's take this off the screen. Let's take that off the screen because I want to share some of these. Some of the games have been announced. We end up getting, I believe, the first game in Germany. I'm not sure. Seattle and Tampa Bay at 9:30 in the morning. So man,
nothing like eating some breakfast and watching a game.
Watching some cereal. Maybe I'll live stream that. See if I can get up out of bed by 9:30 in the morning.
Hey, some days is rougher than others.
So actually, I like that matchup. I know Seattle has some questions at quarterback, but that should be a fun game to watch.
I believe so. I think it'll be a good matchup just for the fact of first time in Germany. The fans love football over there in general, so they don't really have one fan base unless it's Jacksonville, just because they play so often.
Well, Jacksonville, that's in London, so we'll get to the London games here in a minute.
In general, overseas, they love their football over there, so I think it's good for the fact that they're expanding.
So let's look. They announced the. Oh, where'd it go? At the stream, they announced the Mexico game. That'll be, I believe, that's a Monday night game. I think San Francisco and Arizona.
Yeah, it's a Monday night game, which they held it before, but that was when I think the field was having issues or something during the game or something, and it was like falling apart. So hopefully this time around, it's a lot better field conditions. Nobody gets hurt.
And we do have some London games as well. I believe we have 3 London games.
Yep.
Your Vikings play the Saints.
I kind of wish it was in New Orleans, just for the simple fact of Justin Jefferson then could have had his homecoming finally. 3 years in the league, he hasn't had his homecoming to playing in New Orleans, and it was finally like that chance that he could have played there. But he'll have to wait a little bit longer, probably another 3-4 years until he gets that chance to play back in New Orleans. But I'm honestly shocked at the fact that the Giants are playing the Packers over there. I would have expected probably more of a better matchup for the fan base. Kind of like you have Jacksonville at Denver. That could be like a landslide kind of game where you would think like maybe like a closer matchup, not obviously a division matchup, but like a closer overall matchup to go back and forth against somebody not a really good team and a mediocre team. But obviously anybody can win any given week.
And I don't know how they determine. I believe the Saints, Packers, and Jaguars. I believe they all have to be willing to give up a home game to do that. But
Jacksonville does it. Jacksonville does it every year, anyways. And the Packers were the last team that hadn't played in London yet, and so that changed obviously this year. But I think other than that, I think you just have to give up one game pretty much, and want to give up one game. And I mean, you're making a lot of money overseas just as much as you are if you're at home, just for the simple fact of you're going over there, it's going to be a sellout crowd, and you can go over there and sell your merchandise.
Yeah, gotcha. So, and like you said, man, these games are all at 9:30 in the morning. So that'll be kind of fun. Actually, if we stick to our regular stream at noon, these games will probably just be wrapping up.
Hey, we're going to be live streaming at 9:30 in the morning. You better eat your Wheaties.
First off, Wheaties are disgusting.
No, you're going to be eating them. If I got to come feed you, son, I will.
But yeah, wonder. I know we're almost at the top of the hour here, but let's do one more fantasy mock here. Let me put it on the screen. I'll let you pick what position in the first round, and I'll let you have the first round pick as well.
We can pick let's pick 3.
Let's pick 3. So we'll just do PPR, standard information here, and oh wow.
I mean, I'm taking that right off the board. It ain't even it's down in my mind.
I mean, first off, McCaffrey at number 1, that's trash. McCaffrey shouldn't even be a first round pick.
Yeah, I mean, they left that guy on the board right there at number 1. I'm taking it. You can't even question yourself. You second guess yourself. There's something wrong with yourself. You gotta go to a hospital and get checked.
So let's look to see where I'll take the second round. Well, the guy I was hoping would have been here in the second round is gone.
Right, I like the guy right there, Travis Kelce.
Well, that's
He's
who I'd probably end up taking. I was hoping Jefferson would have fallen.
He's not gonna fall. Stop it. I'm lucky. You're lucky he fell to the second round.
Well, let's see why. Let's see. Well, first off, because the guy in first took McCaffrey, so that's dumb. Cup, Henry, Mixon.
I wouldn't take Williams or in the first round or Mixon probably.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I'm not taking Williams in the first round. He's still going to be splitting carries.
Exactly. So I don't like that idea at all, picking him that early. So I would, if I was you in the second round, I'm taking Travis Kelce just for the simple fact of he's going to be like a wide receiver to Patrick Mahomes this year.
Agreed.
Oh wow.
So you're on the board in the third round.
I'm going to take right there. He's available. He's available at the other pick. Obviously, I'm going to take him here. Deebo Samuel. There's no reason why I wouldn't take him just for the fact of Tyreek Hill's got noodle arm at a quarterback. He's not going to be able to throw the ball 60 yards down the field like he's used to.
So what I'm going to look to do, depending on who's still on the board here at 48.
Oh, right there, your boy.
See, now my boy Herbert is here. Do you think the problem is we don't have a running back? So look at our. Oh no, we have Taylor. My bad. Yeah, listen
Pay
to
attention.
me. Pay attention. So I'm not even paying attention to our own draft here. So if that's the case, I am going Herbert here in round 4.
Good choice.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So that puts you on the clock at 5 in the 5th round.
Can I see the running backs available?
Yeah, running backs available. Gibson, Jacobs, Zeke, Mitchell, Dillon, Brees Hall.
I'm drafting Brees Hall.
Brees Hall in the 5th round. Yeah, that's probably good value there.
Yeah.
He is going to be the Jets' workhorse. So let's draft Brees Hall. So let's go back. That puts us in the 6th round. Let's go off.
Zeke's still available this late is crazy.
Zeke's still available, but
the wide receiver right there I see available. He's 59th ranked.
59th ranked. Oh yeah, St. Brown. Yeah, definitely taking St. Brown here. One of my favorite players in the league. Who's your favorite player in the league?
My favorite player, obviously, is Justin Jefferson.
Oh.
You can't go wrong with that.
Sure you can.
No, you can't. Stop it. My favorite player in the league is Tom Brady for the fact that he just keeps winning and he annoys you. And I love anything that annoys you.
Oh, you annoy me.
If I'm on the clock again, he's available right there. I see him yet. I'm taking him at 30 rank. Marquise Brown. He's hooked up with college teammate in Kyler Murray, so I really gonna like that matchup. And without Hopkins 1 through 6,
right,
he's gonna get that mojo right there off the bat.
Yep. So good point there with the Hopkins being out. Let's see here. Number 1 on the board is still Courtland Sutton. I don't know what they're.
I don't like Courtland Sutton.
I don't like Sutton either. They have to update this because Gordon re-signed with Denver, so I don't know.
I'd probably take Melvin Gordon. That's a steal if he's still available that late.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that he's a touchdown machine. And what kind of wide receivers we got available yet? Right. I like the guy right there, 37th ranked.
What about this guy here? You don't like
Devontae Adams is there now.
So you like Thielen here in the
I
ninth
do.
round?
I do because he's a good overall player. He's ranked really low for what he's worth, and I think honestly he's got good value. Obviously,
So we'll take it when it comes to my pick here in the 10th. We'll take a look at our roster again. So far we have Herbert, Taylor, Hall, Samuel, St. Brown, Marquise Brown. Some good value here on the bench already as well. Still too early for defense or special teams.
what
So
kind of tight ends are left?
let's go to all the rankings.
What?
Goddard is number one on the board.
See,
But with having Kelsey, do you take Goddard?
I would. I mean, he's available. I mean, no reason why you wouldn't pass on that. What wide receivers are left yet?
Wide receivers, round 11. Claypool, Woods, and I forgot Tennessee got Woods.
See, the only thing I don't like is he's injured, so kind of how does he play into that? If I was up, I'm looking towards maybe a Tyler Boyd in Cincinnati.
I was gonna say either Moore or Boyd. Moore, just because, like you said, I know
But
Hopkins
we already
is
drafted
out,
Marquise Brown, so
right? But I mean, at this point in the draft, he's a bench player anyway.
hey, I don't want two guys though. Then I got
Okay.
2 bye weeks.
I mean, this is true. And Boyd, definitely good. I know he's sitting behind Higgins and Chase. But yeah, now we're getting into the round 12. This is where we got to start thinking about defense and kicker.
What quarterbacks are left?
Quarterbacks are still left. Deshaun Watson is still there.
Right there. I wouldn't even. I would take him right there. You were just nope. Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. Oh yeah, Derek Carr's still available here.
The numbers he'll put up, and if you might need, obviously, if Herbert would get injured, you have a great backup.
So let's look at our roster again.
Time to start filling that defense and kicker in.
Defense and kicker. Let's take a look here. Kicker Tucker. Actually, I think that the defense we like is. So I think I'm going Tucker here, and I'll let you pick the defense.
Sounds good.
If you want. I know. We both like McPherson from Cincinnati, but.
All right, so let's see what defenses we got left. Oh, they're still available. I like the LA Rams.
Oh, the Rams?
Yep, I like the LA Rams just for the fact of their team only got better in the offseason.
I don't know. Somewhere we switched, so I'll give you the last pick as well here.
Hey, we've been helping each other, helping you build a championship squad.
Well, this is just a fake. This is just a mock draft, so we'll see. What have our grades been? I believe a D+ and a C-, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind taking Michael Gallup there just for the fact of he's going to be the number 2 now without CeeDee Lamb. With CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper obviously is not there anymore, so he's going to have to step up and fill the role, and he got the contract he's been looking for.
I mean, right now we're in round 15. Look, 75th is his best pick. 208th is man. Gallup will definitely be off the board. But all right, let's fill it out. Hey, we got a B this time.
Filling championship squad over here.
So yeah, look at our team: Herbert, Taylor, Breece Hall. Some people might say, a rookie. You never know what's going to happen, but we ended up with Gordon. So, a little thin at running back, but definitely deep at wide receiver. Debo, St. Brown, Marquise Brown, Thielen, Boyd, Gallup.
Our running backs that are in, unless they're injured or there's their bye week, they're not coming out.
Right. That's true. And then Carr is the backup there, and the Rams and Tucker at our defense and kicker. So yeah, man, Sean, man, I'm getting excited for fantasy football season, especially now that I started doing projections. So I'll keep working on them for Sunday. Hopefully, I have running backs. Um, the first running back done, so we can talk running back there, fantasy wise. Um, yeah, and then next Thursday we have the schedule release, and the Thursday after that we're gonna start doing not based off of our projections, but we'll start doing our top 10 lists. We'll start with quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And, just because we have a player projected to be fourth or fifth right now, they might not even make our top 10 quarterbacks that we think.
Yeah, I agree. We got a lot to come up in the upcoming weeks, and obviously, it's getting every week gets closer and closer to football. So, more and more to get excitement about.
Yeah. So, guys, like I said, we'll be back Sunday at noon. I know Rye Cannon was here. Frank is a dark boy was here. Guys, thank you for all being here. If Overlord was here, so guys, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, so we'll be back. You can always follow us on Twitter as well at PA Fantasy Sports. Send me a direct message there, or for friends here, you can definitely send us. Always love Rycanen says always love hanging. Yeah, man, we love having you here. Love I forget what night it was. I was watching his stream and I got tired. Like he was on like hour 6 or 7 and I'm just watching him. And I'm like, I can't watch anymore. Right. How long did you end up streaming that day?
Yeah, when we did for the draft after 4 hours, I was done.
Well, and what made it bad for you? Was that you didn't like the moves that the Vikings made, so you got a little agitated as well with that.
That I was up from 5:30 in the morning until midnight, so I was already done.
Yeah, so man, but what a night we had! Like 7 hours. My longest so far was 12 something. Man,
that's like 11 too many sometimes.
11 too many. Yeah, I think us doing the hours we now like we're here we're about an hour and 15. I think that's good time talking sports. But come other streams if you guys are hanging out and keeping the chat active. I'll keep going. Sean, you're always welcome to stay, but
yeah, I'm always down to stay.
And hopefully having some more guests on. Our buddy Jeremy, who's growing over on YouTube. He just passed 500 followers on YouTube. He just started streaming the Twitch as well. Once you get monetized on Twitch, though, I told him you can't do both unless you pay. There is a fee that you have to pay to do both. But yeah, so hopefully to get him on, we had Payo Time, LA Rams YouTuber was on before the draft. Hopefully to have him on talking some football again. So guys, yeah, make sure you check us out on Thursdays at 7, Sundays at noon. Sean, anything to add before we head out?
No, just join in on Sunday and we'll be able to talk more football.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, thanks a lot. Sean, thanks again for coming. I know you had to work late, but thanks for coming in.
Hey, no problem.
All right, guys. We'll see you on Sunday.
See you on Sunday, guys.